JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, 4 guns, including 2 high-powered rifles, found during Clarendon raid. 4 guns, including 2 high-powered weapons, were seized by police during an operation on Cherry Tree Lane for parts in Clarendon on Thursday. The cache comprising 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 AM-15 rifle, a Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol, and 1.44 Magnum revolver, as well as a bulletproof vest, and more than 340 rounds of ammunition was found in a barrel during a search of a premises. Reports are that about 4:20 a.m. to 5:45 a.m., a police team inclusive of Maypen CIB, Area 3 Major Investigation Division and the Operational Support Team and the Specialized Operation conducted an operation. No arrests have been made in connection with the find. Data from the police indicate that more than 480 illegal firearms and in excess of 6,500 rounds of ammunition have been recovered since the start of the year. Linstead youth dies after being shot several times. The St. Catherine North Police are investigating the shooting death of a young man on a playing field outside Linstead Primary School in St. Catherine yesterday, September 16. The deceased is 21-year-old Ashi Johnson, otherwise called Ashi, from Rosemount, Linstead. Reports are that about 1:56 p.m., Johnson was on his way home when he was attacked by armed men who shot him several times. Residents heard explosions and summoned the police. On the arrival of the police, Johnson was seen lying in a pool of blood. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Jamaican man claims gangsters forced him to smuggle cocaine into Bahamas. A Jamaican man was on Tuesday sentenced to 18 months in a Bahamian prison for importation of cocaine after he claimed he was forced to smuggle the drugs into that country to prevent his family from being killed by gangsters in Jamaica. Junior Reed, 28, pleaded guilty to possession of dangerous drugs with intent to supply, conspiracy to import dangerous drugs, and importation of dangerous drugs in a magistrate's court in the Bahamas. In addition to being sent to prison for 18 months, the Jamaican was fined 10,000 Bahamian dollars, approximately 1.4 million Jamaican dollars, or 6 months imprisonment. According to a report in the Bahamas Tribune, on September 9, Reed was seen acting in a suspicious manner by officers at the Bahamas Customs Hall at Linden Pindlin International Airport. He was later searched, and 4 packages containing a quantity of cocaine were found in compression tights he was wearing. The drug weighed approximately 2.3 pounds and had an estimated value of 20,000 Bahamian dollars, according to the report. Reed was subsequently arrested and charged. Illegal guns seized in Spanish Town, 2 in custody. 2 men have been arrested in connection with the seizure of a gun and several rounds of ammunition during a joint police-military operation in Quarry Hill, Spanish Town in St. Catherine on Wednesday. Reports from the Spanish Town police are that about 8:40 p.m., cops were conducting an operation in the area when they were alerted to a candlelight session being held. On their arrival, 2 men were seen acting in a manner that arose their suspicion. They were accosted and searched along with a motor vehicle that was in the vicinity. During the search, 1 Astro A70 9mm pistol with a magazine affixed containing 5 9mm rounds was found. The men were arrested. However, their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. Several hospitalized after St. Anne crash. Several people rushed to hospital this morning after a 2-vehicle collision near Draxall in St. Anne. It is understood that about 11 a.m., a silver Toyota Axia motor car, which was heading towards Ocherius, collided with a vehicle that was traveling in the opposite direction. Me no know what happened, but me just hear a loud explosion and see a car flying at the air. Although me can't believe, an alleged eyewitness said. The eyewitness also encouraged motorists to reduce their speed on the roads. It rough, man, but just ask the person to just take them time on the road. The number of people involved and the extent of their injuries are unconfirmed at this time. As of September 16, St. Anne had recorded 21 road fatalities since the start of the year, in comparison to 15 for the corresponding period last year. Investigations into Edna Manley College fire ongoing. The Jamaica Fire Brigade, JFB, says it is investigating the cause of the blaze that occurred at Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts this morning. At about 10:30 a.m., fire units and several firefighters were still trying to put out the blaze, while scores of onlookers who appeared to be staff members and students from the institution gathered at the scene. JFB's Public Relations Officer, Emilio Ebanks, said that he and his team responded quickly to the fire. At 9:25, we got a call that the Edna Manley College was on fire. When we got here, we realized that it's the upper floor of the textile building. We responded with 3 units. Ebanks said there were no injuries or deaths reported. When asked if the building was occupied at the time of the fire, he responded, "Occupied is relative. There were students there. One student reported that he smelled smoke, and he's the one who raised an alarm. The building is divided into different studios, so there were students in different studios at the time. The upper floor is completely lost, but the ground floor is fine." He also noted that several items were damaged, but said he was unable to give a detailed breakdown. Kingston construction worker freed of murder. Kingston construction worker, 35-year-old Kima Green, was yesterday freed of murder in the Home Circuit Court. Green was on trial for the 2013 death of O'Neill Reed, otherwise called Barney Frost, in Nannyville in St. Andrew. He was freed after the lone eyewitness admitted during cross-examination that she did not see the shooter. She also admitted that this was indicated to the police when she gave a written statement in 2013. The prosecution led evidence that on September 19, 2013, Reed was shot and killed by Green. It was also argued that after the shooting, Green was seen fleeing from the scene with a gun in his hand. But during the trial, Green's lawyers, Richard Lynch and Peter Champagne QC, challenged the testimony of the main witness. Under cross-examination from Lynch, the witness admitted that she had initially given the police a statement in which she had pointed out that she did not see the killer. But she further testified that she went back 2 years later and gave Green's name to the police as the killer. According to the witness, who knew Green before the incident, she had withheld his name out of fear. However, the Crown, after hearing her startling admission, decided to stop the trial and offered no evidence against Green. He was then freed. JPS defends rate increase. The Jamaica Public Service Company Limited, JPS, is defending its request for a rate increase, calling it necessary for the service it provides. In a request made to the Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, in May, the power company requested a 3.5% increase in light bills and was granted a 1.4% increase that took effect on September 1. Since the announcement, social media users have labeled the decision as unconscionable and wicked. Winsome Collum, Director of Communications at the JPS, defended the company's position, saying the rate increase is necessary for it to maintain the quality service that customers require. "It's not just about a rate increase," she said. "If we were to not implement the determination, customers would be deprived of some benefits that are outlined in this determination." She noted that one of the considerations is the OUR's efficiency target that is used to determine how fuel is used to generate electricity, which is key in determining the cost. When these targets are reviewed each year, the OUR makes a determination, and if we don't meet these targets, we are not allowed to recover a certain amount from customers. The amount that would normally recover is reduced if we don't meet these targets, she said. Collum maintained that the determining of the rates is a function of the OUR, and the JPS must abide by the regulations that they make. She also said the OUR is to make a decision that is beneficial to both the regulated entity and the customer. They have to strike a balance, so JPS will not necessarily be happy with all the decisions that the OUR made, and neither will the customer be happy with all the decisions in this determination. HMC threatens to take squatters in Hopewell Cemetery to court. Faced with a chronic shortage of burial space in the Hopewell Cemetery, Chairman of the Hanover Municipal Corporation, HMC, Sheridan Samuels, has warned that the local authority will be heading to court in an effort to rid the burial ground of squatters who continue to occupy the property despite being served notices. Samuels, who is also Lucy Mayor, said that the notices were served on the legal occupants for them to vacate the property more than a year ago. The enforcement team went there and served notices on them, so it is just for us to go through the regular routine of taking them to court, and then we get permission from the court to demolish houses and all those things, he stated. Samuels further argued that while it is the right of the corporation to go ahead and demolish the houses, as there is no agreement in place between the corporation and the occupants, it is not politically correct to go out there and do that. A section of the cemetery is located on lands donated by a citizen to the people of Hopewell through the Citizens Association and is under the care of the Hanover Municipal Corporation. Another portion of the burial ground was purchased by the corporation from the Public Works Department in conjunction with the National Land Agency several years ago. The issue surrounding the cemetery was brought to the fore during last Thursday's regular monthly general meeting of the Hanover Municipal Corporation, where it was disclosed that the informal settlers are occupying a section of the cemetery as stakeholders expressed concern that the cemetery is fast running out of burial space. President of the Hanover Parish Development Committee, Petra Vernon Foster, in her presentation at the meeting, expressed concern that burials from the nearby community of Sandy Bay are being allowed in the Hopewell Cemetery, which is running out of space. The Sandy Bay Cemetery was closed in June 2010 after it had reached its capacity. I believe that it is time for the municipal corporation to find a cemetery for Sandy Bay so that Sandy Bay can have their own cemetery. At present, the Hopewell Cemetery will soon reach its capacity. So what is going to happen to the citizens of Sandy Bay and Hopewell when the Hopewell Cemetery is filled? Queried Vernon Foster. While efforts are being made to find a suitable location to establish a new cemetery for Sandy Bay, the situation in Hopewell is chronic and has resulted in the corporation exploring the possibility of purchasing additional land space adjoining the cemetery. And while the PDC president was preoccupied with the issue of limited burial space at the Hopewell Cemetery, Samuel queried if the president was only concerned about people from other communities utilizing the cemetery and not also about the informal settlers occupying a section of the burial ground. There are bigger concerns, because you have a lot of squatters on the cemetery land, and I don't hear you mention that you're not satisfied with that. But you're not satisfied with the dead that has been laid to rest in Hopewell Cemetery because they're from a different community, don't it? Queried Mayor Samuels. The PDC chair replied that our concern has to do with both communities not having a place to bury the dead soon. Samuels later explained that the Hopewell Cemetery is being occupied by squatters at a time when the HMC has been forced to find additional space for burial due to a surge in deaths from COVID-19. We have the property for the cemetery that could have been used to bury more people, but it has been captured by persons who have built houses on it. And as a result of that, we can't get the space to take the volume of deaths that we're receiving now due to COVID, Mayor Samuels argued. However, Counsel for the Hopewell Division, Devon Brown, said that the parcel of land that was purchased from the then Public Works Department was acquired by the corporation. Portions of it were occupied by informal settlers. Some sections can convene burials, and some sections are rocky and would not be conducive to burial. But even before purchasing, persons were squatting on the land, and the corporation is there to regularize those informal settlements, disclosed Councillor Brown. 601 new COVID cases recorded in Jamaica, 4 additional deaths. Jamaica recorded 601 new cases of COVID-19 and 4 more virus-related deaths on Thursday, pushing the total number of confirmed cases on the island since the outbreak to 78,590 and the confirmed deaths to 1,772. The new cases comprise 319 females and 282 males with ages ranging from 0 days to 96 years. According to the ministry, 126 of the cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 88 in St. Anne, 86 in St. Catherine, 15 in Clarendon, 46 in Manchester, 44 each in St. Elizabeth and St. Thomas, 33 in St. James, 24 each in St. Mary and Hanover, 18 in Trelawney, 15 in Westmoreland, and 3 in Portland. The deceased are a 76-year-old male from St. Catherine, a 51-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew, an 86-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew, and a 76-year-old male from St. Mary. The latest deaths were recorded between September 14 and 15. 1 more death was reported as coincidental, while 3 deaths were under investigation. The ministry further reported 134 new recoveries, which pushed the total recoveries to 50,495. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.